Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Bashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Jacob from Plaintables Camp. This is the apostles video. Honey Bunny runs from Captain Tazariak. Oh, okay, this guy. That's what he's talking about. Understanding Zechariah 12 and 8. All right, so let's listen in.
Sundown. Y'all following the small hats, man. And another thing is the micro C hip. Y'all go off on that. Maybe a couple other things, but basically, if ISBK is teaching something, they're basically going to say the same thing that we say, and we're going to say pretty much the same thing that they say. Okay? Now, Nate's, through the years, he's been going off more and more. Anyway, let's go ahead and play it. This guy's going to get emotional, and he's going to storm off the debate.
Verse 8. Let me tell you something, y'all. Get ready.
Oh, I love that chapter 12, verse 8. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced?
Nope, that's not the wrong. You quoted wrong. That's what happens when you jump the gun.
You don't know. Listen, when I tell y'all, this man don't know the Bible. He said, I write 12 and 8. That's when they look on the man they pierced. That's not what this verse says. This nigga does not know the Bible. Zechariah, this nigga, I can't believe this nigga said this shit. You don't know the Bible. Zechariah, all I want to do is read the verse. He can't. This nigga can't stop talking.
And the house of shall be his God.
Why are you reading the verse? Look, this man is so in his feelings. Look at him. It's gonna get to a point.
I just know.
Hey, Julio, I want everybody to understand. I'm the only one trying to make.
He was quoting the 10th verse, okay, which is no big deal. He was off by a couple of verses, but you should have. And you know, Captain Zariak is playing with you. You know how a cat plays with a mouse before it tears the head off? He's just playing with you, but you shouldn't have jumped the gun. Give me a second here. So he was close, but no cigar. So let's come on back.
Same order, so we don't have a.
We all do that. You can misquote something, and I was off by off. You know, that happens. But you know, Captain Zariak gonna play on it. Because it's a debate. A debate is a what is it called? A word fight. A word fight. That's what Denzel Washington said in the movie The Great Debaters. He said a debate is a word fight. You don't beat yourself up in a debate. You beat up the other person with words.
Shouting match, huh? When you talk, I'm quiet. If we talking at the same time, the people are not getting edified. Just because you didn't know the verse and now trying to clean it up, you ain't got to interrupt me.
And I guarantee you, this guy couldn't break down Revelation 6. The first verse, if his life depended upon it. I don't think he can break down Genesis 1, verse 1, the word God. I don't think he can break that down. The angels are gods. The Messiah is a God, the chief God. The Most High is considered God. Israelite men on the earth are also considered gods. Are we in our godly state right now? No, we're not. We shall die like men. In the kingdom, we're not going to die. Kalel, all powerful.
You can cut. You didn't know the verse. The best you can say is, my bad, y'all, I didn't know the verse. You gonna say that, my bad, I didn't?
And I would say that. I was off by a couple of verses. Please forgive me. I jumped the gun. That's all.
Know the verse? Of course not. Too much cringing, funky-ass pride. I'm gonna read, I'm talking.
Too much pride. Yep, too much pride. Instead of him saying, you know what, I was off by a verse. My bad. You got me. You know?
Zechariah 12 and 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them shall be as David, and the house of shall be as God, angel of the Lord before them. So will the whole house of David be God? Because it said the house of David.
Absolutely. And not just David, the house of David, but all Israelites will be gods. It don't tell you that in the same verse. Let's go on over here. The 8th verse is the key verse, but let me come up. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Jerusalem to be attacked. The burden, and the governor of Judah shall say in his heart, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength. And Yahweh of hosts, that's the Most High, their power, their God. Yahweh is also known as a God. He's the chief God. He's the God of gods. Our Lord is the Lord of lords. He's over every lord or every.
Yeah, it says that we shall be kings and priests, a kingdom of priests. And in another place it says, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall be changed. What, Corinthians 15? So yeah, every man is going to be a god. The woman's going to be elevated also, because she's the counterpart of the Israelite man. So she'll be nowhere near the status that we have, but she'll have to be upgraded, all right, spiritually, in order to survive the mating process.
king except for the father. It says in that day, which means they're not equal. And in that day will I make the governor of Yahweh like an hearth of fire. Y'all look up the word hearth. You know, it's an old school thing among the wood. A hearth is like when you have a fireplace and you use this thing that blows air and it makes a fire rage. Fire. In that day I will make the governors of Yahweh like an hearth of fire among the wood. Ultimately, the wood are the enemies, and like a torch of fire and a sheaf. A torch of fire a torch of fire is like a stick with fire on it, which is ancient flashlights, lanterns or whatever. And they shall devour all the people around about on the right hand and on the left, and Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. That's a future prophecy. Ultimately, we're going back to the land of Israel, and Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah. Yahweh does first, that the glory of the house of David and the
and it clearly says what there should be no more death. He said, Isaiah said, "Oh death, where is thy sting? Where is he that counted the towers?" Let me find that.
Glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Judah is the head tribe. In that day, the future, I might even go to the Bible Hub. In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. David was a god. You read about David. Saul has killed his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. By thee, O Lord, I'm able to leap over a wall. The Most High taught my hands to war, my fingers to fight, or vice versa. But he's going to truly be a God in the kingdom because we're going to have spiritual power. You shoot an arrow at us.
All right. I think Paul reiterated it. I think he said the sting part. Isaiah, I think it's 28. So we're going to the opposite of being mortal is being a god. Okay. It's probably concepts that regular normies can't understand. The opposite of being a mortal is being a god. All right, there's nothing in between. Let's see. 25, I think. Okay, the covering cast in 7th verse. Isaiah 25:8. He will swallow up death in victory. All right, so if there will be no more death for Israelites, that means they're gods. We are gods. And the Lord Yahweh will wipe away tears from off all faces. These are the Israelites. Because the heathen are going to be in slavery, getting it back with. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for Yahweh has spoken it. All right. Where was it? Rebuke. That's 25:8. Shame. We got karapa. Taunt, scorn. Scorn, condition of shame and disgrace. Yeah, because we're going to be elevated. We're going to be high. We're going to be lofty. He will swallow up death in victory. The word Paul said it. Let's cross-reference it. 1 Corinthians 15:26. It should be right here. The last enemy shall he destroy is death. 1 Corinthians 15:54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and his mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying, what the scripture, the prophecy that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? All right, so we're going to be perfect. Perfect. Let's go back to the apostle.
This is going to bounce off. We're going to see it. It'll bounce off of us. Fire can't destroy us. Shall be as we're going to be supermen and superwomen. As David and the house of David shall be as I'm sorry, the feeble among them at that day shall be as the house of David, which David is going to be as a godlike figure. And the house of David shall be as God, as the angels of the Lord before them, because we're angels in bodies. So, you know, ain't no nation going to come up and take us. You got Nate teaching his nonsense about Gog and Magog attacking us. That's not going to happen. He got to really, what is it, Hebrews 5:12. You got to learn this thing again. And it shall come to pass, future event, in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. When you jump two chapters up, Zechariah 14:12, he said, all the nations that came up against us, this is the plague. That's nuclear fire. And chat even told you that. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of the supplication, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. That's the Messiah. So this is the prophet Zechariah talking about the Messiah. And they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. Because Yahushua is considered the firstborn of the dead. Right? That's a future prophecy. Now, let me come over here. Let me do this. I'm going to ask chat a question. Then we'll go back into the video. So we're doing a lot of analyzing. What the hell happened? Do it again. When will take place? I should say come to pass. Take place. Question mark. Let's see what they say. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before him. But that's all Israelite men. They're going to be gods. When will this take place? This verse is a part of a prophetic section of Zechariah 12-14. Right, 14 is a nuclear blast, which the chat said it was. That's what it sounds like. That speaks of a future time of divine intervention. Divine meaning when the Most High comes into play. And restoration from Jerusalem and Israel. The exact time, it depends on your theological perspective. Here's a breakdown of common interpretations. Futurist view. So we will be considered as futurists, not premillennialists or premillennial interpretations. We are futurists, or what's this term? The word eschatologists. We're not eschatologists. We're futurists. Futurist rule. And I can look those words up. Most evangelicals. Another way of saying teachers, right? And I'm gonna look up the word. You know what I'm gonna do? He sought to build a house. He wasn't able to finish it, and he got laughed to scorn. For in Yahushua, neither circumcision nor availeth anything, no uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love. Right. If you're not back then, if you wasn't circumcised, no big deal. Look up the Jerusalem Council. It says, "You did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump." Right. All you can's got a little leaven in you, man. So anyway, let me come over here. I'm going a little long, I know. Okay, let me tell you what that means. Give me a second and bring it back. Zechariah, when it speaks about David, the first scripture that came to my mind was Amos 9 and 12. We may start at 11. Amos 9 and 12. Let me try to start at 11. Oh, we start verse above. In that day, right? will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen, meaning the Israelites, that were the generation that was with King David, especially the men close to him, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. During the time of David, the days of old, he was a mighty man. He had the Edomites in slavery. So guess what? David had the Edomites as slaves. We're going to have the Edomites as slaves again, and we're going to take over the whole planet Earth. The house of David means the people that were part of the kingdom of David that are here now. Everything is reincarnated, something that the Christians don't understand. It says, 12 verse, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. The remnant of Edom is talking about the land of Edom, because we're all going to have Edom as slaves, but the remnant of Edom is talking about the land. We're going to take their land. Why? Because they're going to be spread out being slaves. And then after that time period, we're going to burn them up. So what land are we going to put them in? We ain't got no need for them. Moses said, burn them up. Obadiah 1:18. And of all the heathen, the word heathen means land too. It means nations, but it means land too. I'm going to prove that to you. Which are called by my name, saith Yahweh, that doeth it, right? I'm going to show you that Edom also means land. We're going to look up the word heathen too. Possess the remnant, the remaining of Edom. Let's look up the word Edom. Red, Edom, Idumean, descendant of Edom, land of Edom. Idumea, land south and southeast of Palestine. So Edom, so in Amos, it's talking about the land of Edom. Let's look at heathen. Let's see what they give you in the book of heathen. Does it say land too? Let me see. Let me look at this. It might not say nothing. But Edom is talking about the land. Okay, doesn't give me what I want. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next shalom.
And that how would defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, and the angel of Yahweh before them. All right, so like I said earlier, the opposite of being mortal is immortality, is being a god. All right, there's nothing in between. All right, either a god or you're not a god. All right, so when death is swallowed up in victory, when Zechariah is making these statements, is being as the angel of the Lord before them. These are beings that cannot die, that will never see death. All right, so that's what it means. Zechariah 12:8. I hope you edified. Shalom.